vinyl. They didn't. Some still had vinyl. Vinyl is coming back, but there were crates and that sort of thing. And so they would come to a record pool to pick up their vinyl. I'm blessed today to have the person in the building whose record pool I went to, and that was DJ Eardrum, with Tables of Distinction was his record pool. Let's give a round of applause for DJ Eardrum. And I'll bring him up a little bit later. But there are going to be people, and I'm sure you all have already had people that are pivotal in your life, that you think of distinct moments that changed the trajectory of your entire music career. Some of you have already had that. Some of you will have it over and over and over again. And I hope that happens because that means you're doing this. So DJ Eardrum was one of those people because he had the Tables of Distinction. And it was a room full of DJs, discriminating DJs that had the ear and the ability to break records. They weren't just playing records, they would break records. Everybody know what breaking a record is? Does anybody know what a breaking a record is? Y'all know what breaking records? You don't know? So breaking a record is when a DJ, and this goes back to the elements and the importance of where hip hop music started. We're 50 years in, the importance of the DJ. Because without the DJ, I mean, there really was no party. What do you want to do? You get ready to come in there and, look at each other and do this to what? So the DJ was so pivotal. So they broke records. So when a particular DJ played a record, that was a hit because that DJ had the ear to be able to choose hit records. So you wanted certain DJs to play your record because if they stamped it, then it must be a hit. They broke the record. Absolutely. So that's the discriminating palette of the early DJs. Not to say that we don't have them, because a lot of people are waking up and being DJs. They going up to the music center and just picking up a set and saying they DJing. That's not DJing. And I'm one of those people that want to be a DJ. I got 1200s back in '98. I played with them for like 3 weeks and I put them back in the crate for 10 years because I didn't have the time to actually practice to be a DJ. So being a DJ is something. There's a difference between playing records and DJing, but I'll get back to my point. So the pivotal moment in me, we're in the record pool, Tables of Distinction, discriminating DJs. They pretty much think they're the shit because pretty much they are. Because what they're gonna play is what you wanna hear. You're not giving them no record and saying, play this for me. They're gonna look, I don't know. So we're in a room like this, and record reps are bringing in music that they hope these DJs will want to play. They hope they want to play them. Now, some of them, they had to play them because they was on the radio and it was in rotation and certain things, but they didn't have to play them in the club. They didn't have to play them at their parties. They didn't have to. So record reps are like, I hope you play this record. So we're in the room, and they're gonna put on a record before my record for the DJs to hear first. The record that they played was California Love. Listen, just think about what happened when California Love came on in the room. The first time you heard California Love. You take us back. Take us back for 30 seconds. Take us back. Now play it like you don't have ears, because that's what they did. So when they dropped California Love, they knew they had one. So they dropped it like they had one. So drop California Love like you know what California Love is. Exactly.
These youngest today will never know.
Exactly. Exactly. Now I want you to be me. Put yourself in my place. There are no previous rappers from the DMV. Go-Go is ruling everything. Period. Saying you're a hip hop artist from the DMV is like an oxymoron. It's like, okay, okay. So I'm over, let's say, this gentleman with the bucket hat on. I'm over there like him. That's how I'm nonchalant, new artist in my hometown now. I'm here. And I'm over there and I got my record and I'm waiting for them to play it and but I just heard California Love too. I just heard it too. So I'm like, oh my God. And they get ready to play my record behind California Love. And then they do.
Hey.
Stop it right there.
You see the goosebumps?
Exactly. That's the DMV. That wasn't, it was the DMV saying, that was us doing that. And everybody in the room, that was from here. They're from here. I'm not talking about DJs that flew in the tables of distinction. I'm talking about DJs that live here. Had no idea that there were people in the DMV making records like this. They don't know what's about to happen. God. And then I start spitting. It's really real. When I feel the way that I do right now, I see all my brothers underground, pushing up daisies, man, it amazes me that you can't see where you're gonna be a statistic. Everybody's going cold ballistic. If they had a good day, damn, I must have missed it. Cause you're mad at the universe. The hell with everybody else, cause you want your own first. In the vote. I got the urge to let you in on a little secret. But you keep dying if you keep it. All the killing that you're feeling is strong within. Pull the rope, check the color of your skin. Why lie? I couldn't try even if I had to. Born with the bulletproof, that's when I had you. A black woman trying to get through. Then that hook came, then the roof came. 5 o'clock in the morning. When you gonna be outside on the corner? Better get yourself together. Walk away on some time, right along with your mind. 5 o'clock in the morning. When you gonna be outside on the corner? You better get yourself together. Walk away on some time, right along with your mind. So this little young girl that was standing over in the corner, that was nervous, that had no idea. But what I did know with that record, it really didn't matter if they moved like California Love. It didn't really matter for me with that record. It was the fact of how I felt when I wrote that record and the message in that record. Now, I was blessed with a track that was crazy. But when my voice came, it was like, what the heck? What is she talking about? What is she saying? So now the room has changed. The room is aware of the possibility of us not only having the root record, the root sound of go-go that has gone all over the world and back. We also have hip-hop in us. We have R&B, we've already proven that with so many, but now we have hip hop. Now they're paying attention to us for a whole nother level. So now, picture the DJs in that room getting that vinyl. They're getting that vinyl. They're not being handed, they're getting that vinyl. They're coming to get that record. You get that instantaneous nod in the room from the DJs. But the difference with Record Pool Mixes, Record Pool 2023, that I want to pull in, because record pools were very exclusive. You wasn't just walking up into Tables of Distinction. You wasn't just walking up in there as an artist. That way you had to be brought in. I want artists to come in. I want us all to be in the room together, to support each other, to give us that nod, to nod to each other. Sometimes it's the nod of you got one. Sometimes it's not the nod that you got one. Because I've made a million records that nobody will ever hear. I continue to make records. But every now and again, you're blessed with that one. And it's nothing like being in the room with a room full of creatives that understand how long it took you to get this on paper, or how many takes you said it over and over and over, and you hear in your head how you want to say it, and then you listen back to it, and they don't sound nothing like that. Nobody understands that but us. We understand that. So when we're in a room together, I don't want you to look to your left and to your right. Look to your left and right. Look to your left and right. These are people that genuinely support you because we have a kinship, because we have an understanding. But the key thing about it is that we are here at home with each other. It's the DMV. I'm not knocking Philly, I'm not knocking New York, I'm not knocking Miami, I'm not knocking North Carolina, I'm not knocking Wisconsin, I'm not knocking LA. I want us to be in a room with us, to support us, because we know what's going on with us. That's right. Here in the DMV. So, I'm not going to talk any longer. This has been a panel of one. Again, Record Pool Mixes is just DJs and artists and everybody else that wants to come and hear our creativity. Us supporting us. I love you beyond belief. I don't even know you, but there are reasons that I love you beyond belief. I'm going to leave you with this. People have asked me over my career, people will ask you too, if you had one thing you could give to artists, or say one thing that you could give them, it's one kind of rolled into several, but it's be humble. Be humble. And when I say be humble, first you start with being humble with the one. If I'm offending anybody by saying being humble with the one, I'm happy to offend you. Be humble with the one. Be humble with that one person that keeps on liking all of your pictures, and they go down and you see 15 likes, and then it's from one person. That just blows the hell out of you. But be humble with that one. Be humble. I've had to humble myself 30 years into my career. Be humble. When you're humble, you'll hear when God is speaking to you. He will give you opportunities that you didn't even know you wanted. Some of us in here, some of us are creatives. We might not even have a job. We're waiting on that. We're waiting. If you listen and you're humble, God will give you the gift of a job. Now, I know you might be looking like, God, You got anything else back there? Because I'm looking for like 50 million streams. You got anything else? He's handing you the ability to take the stress off how you're going to pay for your studio session or how you're going to get the equipment that you want to put in your house. When you're still and humble, you'll hear people and you'll hear God talking to you and guiding you through your career. Being humble will have you on a stage 30 years after you put a record out and you've only had one, because I try to be humble and understand I don't take any person for granted, not one person for granted. And when I have, I've had to recognize, humble myself, apologize, and hopefully they will allow me back into their lives to hear more of my creativity. So that one thing is, be humble to God. If you're pleasing God, everything else will be okay. You'll please everybody else. And those that you don't please, they don't need to be pleased by you anyway. Let's get RPM started.
Yeah.